guys know, I did let you guys know about the Ancestral Memory and Connections IGTV that I was going to be posting. Well, here I am now recording the video. So, I'm going to have one here on IGTV, on Instagram, as well as one on YouTube. But with the one on, but with the one on YouTube, I'm going to be adding in, a little something extra. I'm going to be adding tarot to it to channel the honorable ancestors to see what they have to say in accordance to what I have intuitively came into my own realization about. So, with the ancestral connection and memory, I'm going to start with telling you a story. So, I ran into an uncle of mine by my father's father. So, growing up with my father, he knew who his father was, but his father was not a part of his life because of his whole family dynamic. So, within his whole family dynamic, through my grandmother, his mother's husband, my dad's stepfather, he did not want that information to be accessible to him, my father, about my uncle being his brother because of my grandfather, who's another man. The man that my father was raised with was his stepfather. He was real mean to my father because he was somebody else's son. So in the black community, we know what that is. We know that that's all too familiar. So, long story short, I ran into him a couple days ago, and we got to talking. I shared some information that I had picked up as far as, who I found out that I'm related to, and we were able to connect the dots. And so what I realized is that though, our family lines and familiar recognition was lost consciously, somehow we found ourselves back to each other, not consciously, but through cellular memory. And when I say cellular memory, for those who don't understand, I mean this. Through our DNA and through our biology, as far as who we were close with and who we shared the same tribe. After colonization, and during colonization, the memory was wiped, tribes were burned down, people dislocated, and, we were separated. Some of us were not too far away from each other, but because of memory being wiped, tongues being wiped, overall memory, we still found our way back to each other because of cellular memory. Because when talking with my uncle, I realized that as we were sharing names and where we were located, depending on the name, they all ended up being interconnected like this, basically like a web. And it hit me to the point where, I just realized that we basically had sex with each other again. We basically rebred with one another, not knowing that we were a part of this same tribe, or neighboring tribes. That maybe someone from that one tribe created their own tribe, but we were still family, if that makes sense. And so within the black community, the diaspora, we have a lot of family reunions because of us being displaced and things were forgotten. So we have these family reunions to basically put the pieces back together. Who are my people? Where did you guys go? There was a part where the blacks went up north and some of us stayed down south. But the point of the story is, even though we may think that we don't have that many relatives out there, we really do. Because in the South, it's very prevalent to basically be double married in or have double cousins. Over these past couple of days, I realized I had a lot of double cousins. And with a niece of mine, where I was brought up thinking, and only knowing that that was my niece, happens to be my cousin also. But that's what happens when we're not aware of the fact that we're family. But that was, colonization and displacement of the indigenous people. So if you happen to retrace your history and your ancestry through an oral way, because what I'm doing it orally. I'm not going online or anything like that. I'm talking to the people. You'll find that it's all interconnected. And you'll start putting the pieces to the puzzle again. So if any of you guys resonate with that, let me know. And if any of you guys feel that in your cellular memory, let me know. Like I said, I'll be adding a tarot reading to the video that I'm going to upload for YouTube. So if you want to see that, check that out. And if you wish, subscribe. I hope this guys has done you guys well, and we'll see each other soon. And I hope my gum smacking did not get on your nerves. Peace. What's good? So I thank you guys for coming over here to YouTube to find out what the ancestors had to say about this conversation that I had with you guys about ancestral memory and connections. So I've already shuffled the deck, so let's just go ahead and see what they have to say. All right, we have the Nine of Swords. So basically, everything that I had to say as far as our ancestral memory and connections, and as far as our memory being wiped, that is very true. And because of that, we were in a lot of bondage with not knowing basically who we were or how to get out of this situation. To basically know what we were doing, which was a lot of interbreeding. That's what I hear. So what I hear also is because of a lot of the trauma that we experienced along the way during colonization and after, we didn't know how to get ourselves out of it. So due to that, we created more of that by interbreeding with one another without the awareness. Because as you see, she's blindfolded. And there's a drought also. So a drought of true familiar connections through awareness that was no more. Okay. And because this is the Eight of Swords, This just let me know that the cycles of trauma and a lot of the mishaps continued on. Let's see what else. The devil. Yeah. So we were in a lot of bondage, as you can see. And we definitely caused ourselves a lot of more harm than good. Because through my findings of, our ancestral connections and memories, I've been able to find the good in it. It made me more closer to my people, but while all of this was happening during those times, a lot of chanting ourselves was taking place. And so the colonizer was definitely winning. Okay. And we were causing ourselves a lot of hell. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay. We got the 9 of Wands in reverse. So, with this being in reverse, letting go of the baggage, through all of this, we've carried on a lot of baggage within ourselves. Yeah, we've carried on a lot of baggage, and what keeps us in like this devil energy, when it comes to ancestors, it's because mainly of holding on to the baggage continuously. And a lot of that baggage is limiting beliefs, how we look at each other, how we view each other, a lot of our thoughts, a lot of our mental beliefs, and it causes us the bondage here. Causes us the bondage. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what else. This is gonna be the last one. Yeah, strength in reverse. So we did lose a lot of our strength because we didn't know who to rely on. Because what I'm realizing is that a lot of damage has been done, because what really is prevalent now, especially for those who are awakened, you'll get ostracized by your family before anyone else, and that's just a reality. And so family is all about strength. That's truly what its core is. But because of this devil energy, this colonial energy, and the devil that we've become within ourselves. So basically a tool to the devil's workings within ourselves, the strength is lost. The strength is lost. And as I said, especially now, when you are different in your family, when you challenge a lot of the family's beliefs and their way of doing things, you will be ostracized, and you will basically be thrown to the dogs. So, because of that, we lost the strength. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck to wrap it up. The Ace of Cups. So there is hope. There is hope in all of this. There is hope in all of this. The Ace of Cups, a new beginning. There still is hope. There still is hope. There still is the opportunity to change the narrative. There still is an opportunity to basically empty the cup of all those generations and cycles of turmoil that we've caused ourselves. To have the cup being refilled, but with more nourishing waters. There still is hope. but it takes the individual. All right. I hope this reading has done you guys well. Thank you guys for tuning in. This reading came through very powerful. So I give thanks to the honorable ancestors for channeling in through me. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.